In this video, we're going to talk about Travefy's PCI compliant credit card authorization forms. So with Travefy's credit card authorization forms, you can access those to create them in your library, but first, let's make sure that two-factor authentication is turned on for your account. You'll do that by clicking on your name at the top and then choosing account. On the left-hand side, you'll see a security tab, and from there, you can see two-factor authentication. If you don't have it turned on, it will have a button that says enable, and you can click on that and then follow the instructions to turn on two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication will be required for you to be able to use and access credit card authorization forms. This is a necessary security step to ensure the security of any of your client payment details inside your account. The two-factor authentication, if you're not familiar with that, it's very similar to authentication that you would use for a banking app or a credit card app or something like that to be able to access your account. It will issue you a 6-digit authentication code via text message to your phone, and then you can use that to sign into your account. But you'll have to have two-factor authentication turned on to be able to use and access credit card authorization forms in Travefy. So we'll start by clicking on my library. I want to go ahead and create a credit card authorization form. So Travefy's credit card authorization forms are secure ways to collect and store client payment information. And to create these, I'll choose New Library Item and Form. From here, you can create a completely custom form, or you can start from a template. I'll go ahead and click Create from Template, and I'll choose Credit Card Authorization Form. So we can update the name of this. For example, I could say, Client Credit Card Authorization Form. I have preset questions from the template, including name, email address, phone number, and the credit card authorization question in here that then I can mark as required. I can also choose to collect the card security code or the CVV code on the back of the card. So I can optionally include that. Now I can also include in other questions within here. I can add those in. This is really nice because maybe you want to combine your service fee agreement with your credit card authorization, or maybe you're combining your travel insurance waiver and a couple other forms in with your credit card authorization all in one. It gives you a lot of versatility and flexibility to customize those forms however you wish. Now, within here, if I scroll to the bottom, you'll see an electronic signature option that's turned on. Obviously, that's needed for a credit card authorization. And you can also include in different terms and conditions just by copying and pasting them in that way within there. So pretty straightforward in terms of how to create those credit card authorization forms, either completely custom or from a template, and use those preset questions to start with. Now, a few quick items within here. If I want to send the form, I can send it directly from this form window by adding in a client's email address, and I can input information and details within there. This is a quick way to be able to send that off to clients that way. As well, you can view any client responses within this form under the Manage Responses, and as responses start coming in, you can also download those within there. Now let's take a step back and do a quick preview of this credit card authorization form. In here, I can choose to advance through the questions here, and I can pull up the credit card authorization question. I can choose Add Payment Method. This is exactly what your clients would see when they're viewing any of this. They can drop in the client payment details into they can include any of the payment details and submit those in a PCI compliant environment within there. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward to do. They simply click Submit, and that's it within there. And then they can review all of the information they've submitted in a final summary window within here. Now, this is where your custom terms and conditions can be displayed as well within here. They can e-sign it, and then it will also capture their IP address for authenticity purposes within there, so they can submit that. Now, when they submit this, you'll be notified via email that the client has submitted the credit card authorization form. And then from there, you can actually find that client's credit card authorization form. I'll pull up a sample client here and choose Forms. And this is where you'll be able to find the client's form that they filled out. You'll click on the client's name in your contacts and choose Forms. And then you can simply click View Responses to view any of the information the client has submitted within there. And so this is where it's asking me to re-authenticate in. And so then I can pull up the client's payment details in here, so I can review that and use that to apply that payment information towards a service fee or a supplier invoice within there. So very simple to do. Now, 2 important notes within the timeline of credit card information. So the credit card details that Travefy stores in a PCI compliant environment, we will store those for up to 2 years for you to be able to review and access the credit card information, except for the card security code or the CVV code. For PCI compliance reasons, the card security code can only be stored for up to 30 days for an authorized purchase. And so that's a really important part to note within there. In terms of the information that's submitted. Now, when you're ready to send a credit card authorization form off to a client, you'll just choose Send Form and choose that credit card authorization, and you can go ahead and send that to them. You can send it directly via email or drop in multiple email addresses. You can include in a description for that authorized purchase, hotel, flights, etc. You can be as detailed as you want. Within there, you can include, you will need to include a specific authorized amount for that authorized purchase, $3,500, and then we can also set an expiration date within there as well. And then I can choose Send Form. And again, when they fill that out, that's where you'll go to the form section and choose View Responses to view any of the information that the client has submitted that way.